Hello class. I'm going to show you another sort of more advanced, actually a pretty advanced feature to how to do dotted lines. I showed you how to do this sort of dotted line here and how to do these line weights. So I'm going to look at this one, which is actually a set of green dots that are circled with a green thing, and a darker green ring. And if you don't know better, you could think, well, maybe I just drew a circle with a fill of light green and a stroke of dark green, and then I copied it and placed it. But I didn't. It's actually a line, and it's actually using the dotted line features over here. But I had to use another tool called the Appearance Toolbox, which I think is one of the most powerful things in Illustrator. And I know this is only advanced lessons, so if you don't quite get this, it'll be okay. As you sort of do other things, you'll eventually can come back to it and learn how to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by coming over to this file, and I'm going to make a new layer. So I'll lock that layer and I'll make a new one. I'll call this street trees. It's not exactly what I was representing there, but it's close enough. It was opportunity for street trees, but I'll call it street trees. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by just keeping my fill at blank, at nothing. So again, that's hitting the none here. And I'm going to do a light green for my primary dot. And I'm going to set this up exactly like I did these dots that I drew in the last video. Go to my pen tool. I'm just going to draw a line down the street. I'm going to move it over a little bit so it's clear. And I'm going to make this bigger because these dots were bigger. So I'm going to open up my stroke, change the line weights. I'm not sure what 9. I'll go with 9. Now again, they're all smushed together because to do a dot, I want my dash line on, I want my cap set to round, and I want my dash to 0, but this gap number needs to be larger than this number. And actually I'm going to make it somewhat significantly larger because I have to make room for the lines as well, the dark green lines that I have to do. So I'm going to call, let's see, that's 9. I'll try 15. I can always come back and adjust it later. Those look nicely spaced out. We can see one of the reasons why I may have added the dark green stripe was because these things sort of fade into the background. But the color is nice. Actually, I always like if you add a fair amount of yellow to your greens, it looks much more vibrant. So, so those secondary lines allowed me to do that. So the way I did that is it's actually the same line. So I'm going to use my black arrow, and I'm going to select on this line, and I'm going to come over to my appearance box, which is right here, this little star sign. If you don't see it, go to Windows, Appearance, Appearances, which is right there, but usually by default it's up. So if I open it up, what we see is a summary of pretty much all the information that I've already put in. We see the colors that were from over here. We see some stroke details which were up in here. If I click on the stroke, I can see all those things pop up. They're contained in it. And now the really interesting thing about Illustrator is I can add strokes, multiple strokes, and multiple fills, and that's how you really get to some interesting stuff. In this case, I'm just going to add a new stroke. So I'm going to hit this little post-it note button here. We see it's duplicated it, and I'm going to change the color. So I'm going to select onto this guy, and I'm just going to select a dark green from here. You could alternatively click over there, and we see we don't see it because it's actually underneath this one. If I eyeball this off, the visibility, we can see the dark green is there. And so what we need to do is we need to select the stroke, and we need to make the line weight bigger. Maybe I'll make it, I'm going to make it 11. I think that'll be 1 point on each side. So I'm going to do 11, enter, and we can see that it's just made that circle bigger. The reality is it's a full green circle. I'm just covering it over top of it with a smaller green circle so it looks like a dark green line. And it's all one object, which is great because if I need to change this, I don't have to change multiple things. I can just say, oh, let me go to my white arrow and stretch that out. Let me connect these trees through the neighborhood, for example. I don't know. I'm just making up a reason to change this. Right, and there we go. It just adds more dots and it all looks perfectly well. So a really great way to add sort of multiple lines. I've done lots of things where things have multiple lines or multiple fills. I might get into it ever so briefly when we get to the end of this, but I know that's advanced, but give it a go. See if it works for you. Definitely it's something to learn once you get more proficient in Illustrator. When we come back, we'll look at some more things on how to control basic fills and whatnot.